What is up everyone, it is Sam back here with another house building video in The Sims 4. Today we're going to be building a split level house again. This time this house is definitely themed to a family. It is a big house obviously because it's on a big lot, but in terms of The Sims, it's a very livable size house. So what I mean is there's not a lot of wasted space. There's not hundreds and hundreds of rooms with kind of stuff that you'd never use in it. So for example, there's no amazing facilities, no basketball courts, no like gyms or anything like that. Just a nice simple family house with your living room, kitchen, bedrooms. And then there's like a few quirks as well, just in the spaces that I didn't quite know what to do with. But as you can see at the moment, we just sort of, I kind of skipped the landscaping because it was quite boring to watch, as it was literally just hundreds and hundreds of rocks being placed down. And I didn't really think anyone's going to want to watch that, so I got rid of that footage. But as you can see at the moment, I was originally going to put a staircase on both sides of the house, but it just wasn't going to fit. The curved flooring tool, I guess it's called, it is a little bit buggy. So as you can see, it took me quite a while just to even get that to do that. And it looks relatively simple, but basically the railings weren't going in place properly. So I had to kind of delete everything and then put it back. So that took a while. But yeah, I got rid of the bottom kind of curved area as well because it just wasn't really needed. But as we're building this house, if you're wondering where the inspiration comes from, originally I was going to build a house from the game Grand Theft Auto. It is a house that it features quite prominently in the story mode, not so much online. But essentially the house is in the hills. It faces towards the sea in GTA. It's kind of just behind where like the Rockford Hills are, but it's a really nice house, and it features in the game because it belongs to Devin Weston. Basically he's a guy you go and steal quite a lot of cars for, but he's also, I think he's some kind of like secret agent as well. He's quite confusing. If you played the story, you know who I'm talking about. If you don't, then it's just quite a nice house. So I thought it was quite a cool house to try and recreate. Basically the reason why I ended up doing my own version of it is because I didn't build the house on high enough ground to do the garden properly, and also the house kind of has to be built at a right angle, and I kind of didn't really want to build it at the right angle, so I kind of thought, well, we'll kind of base it off it, but we'll do it our own way. And also I really wanted to build a split level house that is really good fun to play in and like realistic to play in, because I feel like a lot of the houses I make tend to be quite feature rich and not necessarily that good in terms of actually when you're trying to play with your Sims in those houses. But yeah, it was a lot of fun building this house, and I'm really happy with the result. There was points halfway through where I thought this house just isn't doing it for me at the moment. But as we get further through the video, it all started coming together, and I'm glad I stuck with it because actually the end result is really nice, I think. The landscaping is obviously probably my favourite part of the house. But I also love the kitchen as well. The kitchen ends up being really nice. As you can see on the screen now, tried to experiment doing like a ramp into the driveway, but there just wasn't really enough space to get it to look great. So in the end, it kind of just does a step up. There will be a couple cars in the driveway as well. It looks quite cool because the driveway even has a good view. If you call it garage, carport, whatever you want to call it, that's got quite a nice view. So you can imagine pulling up and you just overlooking the whole of Del Sol Valley. Another feature of this house as well is there's quite a lot of overhangs, quite a lot of stilted areas, and the reason for that is it kind of gives it a good balance. So when you're looking at the house from a distance, it's not like loads of harsh lines everywhere. It's nicely built up. There's also a giant pool in the garden, actually, a really big pool. I was originally going to put a hot tub in the garden, but the only hot tub I could put there was, well, I could have put quite a few hot tubs, but I was trying to use as few packs as I could. I think I still ended up using like 7 packs. But most of the items that I use are just like from those packs are just sort of plants and stuff. I'd say the only pack really worth having is Get Famous. But apart from that, all the other items, like if they don't appear, it's not really going to be an issue. But the hot tubs are from like the outdoor living pack, and a lot of people don't have that pack, so I don't really want to kind of include items from a pack that people aren't going to be able to use. So I thought I'll just leave the hot tub area blank, But if you want to put a hot tub there, you're more than welcome to. In the front here, I was going to add like another little car parking spot, but it just didn't look very good. Like I just couldn't get it to look nice, so I didn't bother in the end. That will actually go. Also, the gates will change as well, because the gates just weren't working for me. Yeah, that yellow van doesn't last very long either. Not quite sure what I was thinking with a big yellow van in the house, but you know, it's a family house, I guess. There we go. Here's a really nice kitchen. It's kind of built on an angle, but I've noticed as well, actually, they've kind of updated the game. So when you build kitchens on an angle and you go to place the countertops, they actually connect now. Because before you used to have to use the Alt button to go into like, right, basically if you click on the Alt button, it lets you freely move an object, and you used to have to use that to build kitchens at an angle. But now it's kind of a lot more intuitive, which is really nice to see. Actually, there's quite a few things that this updates have been really helpful as well. Platforms, very buggy but very useful. In fact, I don't think this house would look anywhere near as good as it does without the platforms update. I try to utilise them a bit, but I don't like just putting platforms in for the sake of platforms. Like, they need to have a use, so they need to be sectioning off an area, or they can be used on the roofs as well, just to kind of make the structure look a little bit chunkier, just so it looks a little bit more bulky, a little bit more realistic. That's just kind of how I like to do it. The interior also ends up being quite minimal. What I mean by that is I didn't fill it with loads of furniture, because me personally, it's just not my style to overclutter a house. And there's two reasons for that. One, when you're trying to play with Sims in the house, if there's too much stuff, it just becomes quite annoying, and it can also slow down your game quite a bit if you've got to load in all of those textures. But also, it's a modern house of big clean spaces, so I figured it's not really a need for loads of clutter. Like, I want it to look clean, I want it to look crisp. But the whole purpose of this house is kind of the outdoor balcony areas. As you can see, we've got a nice outdoor dining area. There's also a bar downstairs, so if you want to have pool parties, this would be a great house for that. That's, yeah. And the other reason why it's quite minimal is because a lot of the kind of main interior features are like the big artwork pieces that I've got on the walls. Like, I love the fact that you can scale up items in this game. It lets you put some amazing big artwork on the wall, and it just makes the space so much better. Instead of having like loads of small pictures which just don't really fit, you can have like these big artwork pieces. If you're placing artwork in rooms and you're thinking it doesn't look quite right, one thing I'd recommend doing is kind of pick artwork all with a similar theme. So if you're going to put modern pictures on the wall, put modern pictures on the wall. If you're going to put classical, put classical. But I would say don't mix them up too much, because if you have like, I don't know, an ancestral portrait next to a bunch of stuff in like that Marilyn Monroe colour theme, that picture that's in the game, it's just going to look quite odd. So I'd recommend kind of sticking to one specific kind of like genre of pictures, or if that makes any sense. Hopefully it does, because I do quite often see in the game you get just random pictures, and it doesn't look the best in my opinion. It doesn't look very well thought out. One other thing I really like about this house is how the layout went. So it's a nice simple layout. You got the upstairs, you got the kitchen, living, dining. Downstairs you got the bedrooms. There is space as well to put like a laundry area if you wanted to. And also downstairs you could potentially put another bedroom if you made the master bedroom a bit smaller. But I didn't really want to do that because I didn't need to. But you could definitely put another bedroom down there. You just move the windows around a little bit. And then you got the dressing rooms here. And then this is kind of like the quirky feature that I added. And it's basically, I added a vault in the house. So kind of, we're going for all this realistic stuff, and then just out of nowhere, I just wanted to put a vault in the house. And the reason for that is because I had that room off to the side of those dressing rooms that you just saw being built. There was like a room with no windows, it's quite dark. And because of the way the rocks were intersecting with the walls, I kind of had to make the walls a bit chunkier, just to kind of avoid that kind of intersecting of the rocks. And it kind of made the perfect space for a vault. The vaults aren't really that useful in this game. Like, you don't really do anything with them, like, apart from security, but you don't get burgled in this game anyway, so it's not really necessary, but it does look cool, I think. So if it looks cool, I guess that's all that matters. But anyway, just wrapping up to the end of the video now. I've got quite a lot of screenshots to show you at the end. But thanks very much for watching. If you've got any recommendations, make sure you comment them below. And also, if you can like and subscribe, that'll be very helpful. I do try and release content weekly. I did have a bit of a break, but I'm back now. So welcome back. Thank you for watching and have a great day. And also, I'll try and place the download link for this house in the description box. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.